What are the odds? I'm Todd Wright. Let's find out. At the time of this taping, we are going to look ahead, starting with the college football playoff national semifinals on that Saturday, and then look at some of the bowls that fill that gap between there and towards New Year's Day. And we're using the numbers at the time of this taping, which is in advance of those games being played. To reiterate, and we did this on a previous show, Oklahoma, 2-touchdown underdog to LSU. LSU has the Heisman Trophy winner, an overwhelming winner in Joe Burrow. Can Oklahoma slow LSU? Can Jalen Hurts do enough to keep up? No surprise, the line has moved up to 2 touchdowns. That's the risk there, that LSU is a predominant favorite, but does OSU do enough to backdoor cover within 2 touchdowns? And the only other comment we'll make on Clemson, which is, at the time of this taping, basically a field goal favorite against Ohio State, it's twofold. It's a tip of the cap to Dabo Swinney and a Clemson program that has basically been in the mix for a title now for 5 straight years. And it also challenges Ohio State. How will they deal with adversity on the big stage? They didn't deal with it very well in the first half of the Big Ten title game, and Ryan Day has never been in this position as a head coach. We move past the semifinals on to other action, if you will. On December the 30th, Illinois is facing Cal. My favorite story about this game is some of the official t-shirts for the game say Illinois versus Cal State. Yeah, they botched that one. A lot of money came in early on Cal. At the time of this taping, I see Cal as a touchdown favorite, and maybe it's just me. I always like seeing Lovie Smith fail, and he's a touchdown underdog in this one with Illinois. Virginia, this is one of the bigger lines out there in the remaining bowl games. Going down to South Florida to play Florida in the Orange Bowl. Gators are a 2-touchdown favorite. At the time of this taping, even more so than LSU is over Oklahoma against Virginia. The Orange Bowl did not want the little guy to play in their game anymore when we went to the New Year's Six. So instead, they were stuck with the next best team in the ACC, which behind Clemson this year was no bargain. Speaking of ACC, Florida State will be without running back Cam Akers for the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl in El Paso against Arizona State. So first of all, tune in just to see the Tony the Tiger presence. Second, Herm Edwards is a 4.5-point favorite. Herm, we know you play to win the game. We hope you play to cover as well. Another game on New Year's Eve is K-State and Navy. Navy had an unbelievable individual rushing performance in the win against Army. And as a result of that, K-State went from opening as a favorite to basically a field goal underdog. That's something to keep an eye on in that game. Quickly through 4 New Year's Day games. Let's start with the Outback Bowl right here in Tampa Bay. PJ Fleck, nice job working the room at the contract signing. I'm a big fan. 10-win Minnesota, 7-point underdog against Gus Malzahn and Auburn in the Outback Bowl for the 5th time. Up the road in Orlando, Michigan getting a touchdown against Alabama. You know what? As much as I respect Nick Saban and this tremendous run he's been on in Alabama, when they're not playing for the national championship, they don't play the bowl game well. And let's face it, defensively, they've had issues. Keep an eye on Michigan in that game, especially getting the 7. Rose Bowl, Oregon plus 2.5 against Wisconsin. This is actually pretty simple. Oregon wins Rose Bowls, Wisconsin loses Rose Bowls, and Oregon's quarterback needs a good game to put himself in a great position to be one of the top picks in the NFL draft. And finally, we'll give you a total. Baylor and Georgia in the Sugar Bowl. Look, I say the actual line is irrelevant because this is one of the lowest totals of all the bowl games at 41.5, which is interesting. It shows Georgia can't score, but it also puts out there, does Georgia have the defense to slow a great Baylor offense that's only been stopped twice this year in 2 losses to Oklahoma? Happy New Year. Enjoy the college football. We'll talk to you next time.